We matching. Look, green light, green sweatpants, green boxes. We are green today. So far, I've had 4 surgeries for endometriosis. And when it comes to having a laparoscopy, I've stayed overnight in hospital every single time. I kind of think that I'm a little bit of an expert when it comes to learning how to pack for this particular type of hospital stay. Now, even though I've had laparoscopies for endometriosis in particular, you can have laparoscopies for a lot of things. If you're having a cyst removed on your ovary, if you're having some investigation, if you're having someone look into your bladder and they have to go a certain way around it. It might not just be for a gynecological reason, it might be for something else, but everything I'm going to be going through is going to be super helpful for you no matter what you're having. And also a lot of these things you can actually bring into other operations too. Now, a lot of you will probably only be in hospital just for the day and not overnight, but it's always really important to pack for an overnight stay just in case. Preparation for any surgery is really important. Whether you're going to get your room or your house ready for when you come back home, which is extremely key, and I will definitely be doing a video about this in the future, or knowing what to pack for your hospital stay and also your drive back home. Every single item is going to be linked down below, and 90% of them are going to be from Amazon. Clicking on my affiliate links is a fantastic way to support me and my channel. You can also subscribe, like, and share this video with whoever you think needs to see it. Every little bit helps. First and foremost, the hospital bag. The reason why I got this particular bag from Claudia Canova is that it's a great overnight size bag. Now, what you definitely want to avoid when packing for a hospital stay is you don't want to overpack. Simply because you have to think about the weight of the bag when you leave. Hopefully you will have some help in carrying your bag afterwards, although there have been times, particularly in COVID, where I'm pretty sure I had to walk myself out and also carry my own bag out as well. So you definitely just want to be mindful of the weight of the bag just in case. Now, if you are like me, I like to be prepared for every eventuality. Like when I pack for a vacation, I pack for anything and everything that can or could happen. Don't do that here. It is definitely a problem of mine that I'm trying to work through. The other reason that I particularly like this bag is that I can either carry it with the handles here, or there is this removable strap as well, if you prefer carrying things on your shoulder. Now there are going to be different variations of this bag on Amazon, but they all seem to be around the same size, which is the key point here. So this bag will pretty much force you to pack the essentials and not the kitchen sink. Now, aside from the bag, the next thing that you'll need is a dressing gown or a robe. I think I got this like 8 or 9 years ago in Macy's. This is a brand called Joe Boxer, I believe. This is a very thin robe, okay? I will try and find a similar one and link it down below. Now you might be sat there thinking, okay, Tori, why are you not bringing a nice, fluffy, warm dressing gown with you to the hospital? 2 reasons why. Number 1, hospitals have lots of germs. I do not want to bring items that I regularly use at home, especially if they are material, because they will catch and hold germs. The second reason is that hospitals are notoriously warmer. Usually you're not going to go into a hospital and find that it's cold because that's really bad for the patients that are there. And what you don't want is to bring a really heavy, fluffy, warm dressing gown because you're going to be sat there probably roasting if you do that. Having been in hospital a lot over the years, I would definitely recommend a lightweight robe. And I literally only use this when I go to the hospital and I wash it. You will definitely need to bring a robe with you when you're having a laparoscopy, because when you have your hospital gown on, usually unless you're on your period, they tell you to remove your underwear. So you're walking around with not a lot on, and we all know that the back of a hospital gown is open. So what you don't want is to be walking around the hospital with your butt hanging out. And also, because it's not like massively fluffy or big, it fits really well. Another essential to add to your hospital bag, even if you are just going there for the day and not staying overnight, is you need to bring something to wear on your feet. Now, what I propose and recommend to you is to bring sliders. Now, you may think this is weird because you might have seen other YouTube videos saying, you know, bring your slippers from home, bring something fluffy to wear on your feet. I wouldn't recommend that. And here's why I don't recommend actual fluffy slippers to bring to the hospital. Number 1 is the germ thing, right? You can wash and sanitize these easily, and that's what I do. A hospital floor is one of the dirtiest places of the whole building. And, you know, you have to think the amount of germs that get walked in and walked out of there. And so I would recommend you not bring something that you regularly wear from home because then what you'll do is you'll come home and you'll walk all those germs through your house as well, and it'll stay in your house. The other reason is these are waterproof. So yes, you can easily wash these, sanitize these, fantastic. Not only that, but if you don't have your own bathroom and you're actually sharing a restroom with other patients, this will keep your feet and your socks dry and clean when you have to walk through some liquid on the floor. So again, this is why I say don't bring fluffy slippers from home that could soak all that liquid and germs up. One last reason to bring something like this is these are very light and they're very compact. They will not take up a lot of room in your bag. So we're gonna fit those right in there at the bottom of the bag. Now you may be thinking, Tori, you have not mentioned socks. Yes, I've not, because most of the time, especially if you're having something like a laparoscopy, they give you compression socks, which is to help with clots and things like that. And they are very interesting to get on and off again, so you will not need to bring socks. And another reason why I say to bring the sliders is that your feet can easily go in and out of them. They're quite wide, they give a lot of room. The next thing that you're going to need is I would recommend bringing a nightshirt. I would not recommend you bringing pajamas with you that have a bottom and a top. Always bring a nightshirt. Now, why do I say to bring a nightshirt and not to bring something with a band around it? It's because that with a laparoscopy, the incisions that you have are going to be in the lower half of your body. Belly button in particular, there might be other wounds as well down below. I promise you, you will not want to have anything rubbing on them or being too tight. Also with this particular operation, they do put in air into your stomach, which means that you're going to feel bloated for a while and you do not want something tight around you. For me, I also have to have a catheter after a laparoscopy. So in order for me to be able to easily have a catheter, if I need to change from a hospital gown into a nightshirt, then there's easy access for all of that. I'd also recommend you investing in a long one. Do not get a little short nightshirt to wear, because if you are in hospital or you're having someone look after you in your house, you're not going to really want one that grazes your thigh and kind of shows everything. You're going to want one that kind of goes to your knees, at least. So put that. I would also recommend you have some at home for your recovery for the first week or two, because again, you're going to be sore and you're going to be bloated or you're going to be swollen. You're not going to want to sit around with a waistband over your incisions. Also, you're going to want to bring some underwear. Now, what I do not want you to do is think I need to be a Victoria's Secret model in hospital and I need to bring the coolest, sexiest, most awesome underwear. I want you to think the opposite, actually, because you want to get underwear that is at least 1 or 2 sizes above what you are, because you are going to be swollen, my friend, and you are going to have extra air in your stomach and you're going to be bloated. And you're not going to look down and think, I want to look cute. You're going to look down and think, I want to be comfortable. Also, it's important to get cotton underwear as well, because with cotton, it's breathable. And with all the incisions and wounds that you have, if you have a lot, you are going to want to have something that allows those wounds to breathe. Another reason to get underwear that's larger is to accommodate a pad as well, which you probably will have after the operation. And I don't think you're going to get that if you bring a thong with you. I don't know any girl that has gone to have a laparoscopy and has decided to wear a thong afterwards. I personally don't usually bring a towel, but some hospitals do ask you to bring a towel with you. Now again, you're probably not going to need it because it's very unlikely that A, you're going to need to have a shower when you're there because you have to keep your wounds dry. And usually people are just there for a day for a laparoscopy. So check with the hospital. If you need to bring a towel, then bring one. But what I do bring is I always bring a face cloth with me. So let's just say that I do need to stay in the hospital for a little bit longer and I can't have a full shower. If I need to, I can use this to wash myself, or at least wash the parts that need to be washed, like under the arms, etc. So I always bring one of these as a just in case. And it's small and it fits very easily in the old bag. That's what he said. Now on to technology. Now these are things that the hospital will probably not have extra of, so I would make sure you definitely remember to bring the things that you need from this particular section. Now, one of the best things that has served me well when I've had not only a laparoscopy, but other operations that I've had, is I brought an extra long charging cable. I think this is 3 meters. It could be 6, I'm not sure, because I'm an American and I still can't really eyeball meters. Let's just say to you that this is a very long cord, okay? Now, why do I say to bring a really long cord? It's because when you're in hospital and you've had the operation, you're not going to be able, especially straight away, to easily turn and move around, especially if you have a catheter as well. You can't really move. So let's just say you want to charge your phone after the operation, but your charging cable is really small and it's in a wall that's like right over there. So what you want is you want a cable that's long enough to plug into the wall, and you know, the plug could be kind of far away from your bed. And then you want to have your phone sit on the tray table in front of you so you have easy access. All you have to do is kind of reach. You're going to need a long cable for it to fit from the wall to your tray table in front of you. I got this from Amazon and it served me well. It has been through many, many operations, including weeks of being in hospital. Also, make sure you bring the appropriate plug with you. I like to pack for everything. I sometimes bring two just in case one doesn't work. Yes, I am that person. Another thing to bring, which you might think is a bit of a contradiction to what I just said, but is to bring a portable power bank with you. Now you're probably asking, okay, Tori, you just lectured us on making sure that we bring an extra long charging cable to fit from the wall to where we could reach. Why are you saying to bring this as well? This has happened to me before and I've had to use this. I've come back from my operation. My phone might be in front of me, but my cable has been put like way over there where I can't reach it. And so I have been so thankful that I've had this with me and literally next to my bed. You can easily sit this next to your iPhone or iPad or whatever on your tray table in front of you. And I highly recommend this particular charger from Amazon because it has every cable you are going to need. So it's got, and it's like, and they're all here. So it's got the lightning ones for your iPhone. It's got a USB-A one, which is the usual one. It's got a USB-C one, so you can charge your iPad. And also for all you Android people, it's also got like a other particular USB cable here. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's got that one there as well, which I don't know if you can see. Hello, there we go. So it's got everything. It's got every possible charging cable that you're going to need, apart from an HDMI, which in hospital you are not going to need. So this will charge up your iPad, your phone, your Kindle, your earphones, your headphones, whatever you need. This is the guy for you, and it easily shows you the charge as well. This is at 100 because I am prepared. Now I highly suggest bringing things to cure boredom when you're in hospital. Whether you are waiting a long time for your operation, which does happen, sometimes you're at the end of the list, which seems to happen to me a lot, and you're having to wait almost the entire day to get to surgery. And you're definitely going to want to keep things to distract you with. Now, whatever floats your boat, I personally bring my Kindle with me with this cool cover, which all of these things I will link down below. Unfortunately, my Kindle does need to be charged. Yes, but I bring my Kindle. This is the Kindle Oasis. It's really light. It's waterproof, which is great. I also bring my iPad. I bring my Apple Pencil as well. And with this case, it slots on there and covers up like so. So we keep that right there because I like to draw on my iPad. It soothes me, it distracts me, and it's something that I really love to do. So highly recommend things like this to help you, and make sure you always cover them with cases because you don't know if they're going to drop, and you want to make sure they are as protected as can be when you're going somewhere that's not your home. Now, Amazon usually do really amazing deals on things like Kindles and iPads and technology in general, so I recommend making sure you look there first because that's where I get everything from, and always at a much cheaper price than anywhere else. So another piece of technology that I highly recommend you bringing is something for music, whether you are a headphone kind of person or an earphone sort of person. I personally love my WF-1000 XM4s. I used to be a Beats sort of girl, but I found sometimes they can be a little bit too large. And so I went for some earphones, and I'm so glad I did. Highly recommend these. These are super affordable. Amazon almost always has really good deals on them. This is where I got mine. Now, the great thing with these is by just a tap in your ear, you can change them from being noise canceling to ambient sounds enabled. What does that mean? It means when you have the ambient sounds on, you can hear more of what's going on around you. You might think, well, why would I need that? Surely I would want to drown out everything. But if you were having these on while you're waiting to go into the operation, you're going to want to know when someone is coming in to collect you. So that's why I recommend these. You can also use the noise canceling features as well, especially if you have already had your operation and you're trying to drown out all the machines and whatever's happening. But yeah, these are really good. They are Bluetooth and they keep a charge for a long time. And with your portable charger, it also fits because it's a USB-C. And so yes, highly recommend something like this. And they're small, so they fit right into the bag. Now let's move on to some smaller ticket items that you will need. You're gonna think this is very strange, but I will explain. You're gonna wanna bring an extra set of mint tea bags. Now, hopefully your hospital are going to have them. Usually they do. But if they don't, you'll be happy that you have brought a spare with you. And the reason is during a laparoscopy, they pump carbon dioxide into your stomach. And a lot of times the extra CO2 that they pump in there can irritate the phrenic nerve because the extra gas can actually get trapped against your diaphragm. And what happens is you get referred pain. And sometimes this pain is worse than what you actually feel from the operation. You will usually get pain in your shoulders, or sometimes you'll get pain in your chest. Now, I had terrible issues with this in my first 2 laparoscopies. I didn't seem to have an issue with this in my last 2, thankfully. But I remember my first one was probably the worst. And the pain that I had from the trapped carbon dioxide was far worse than the pain of the actual surgery at that point. And a fantastic remedy for getting rid of trapped gas or trapped air inside of you is mint tea. And I actually learned this from a nurse who was trying to help me during my first operation. I was like almost screaming in pain, like it was really bad. I was not prepared for it. And she said, oh, I'll bring you some peppermint tea. And I'm thinking, I don't want peppermint tea. I just want this to go away. Like give me some painkillers or something. She came in, brought the mint tea, and it helped me so much. The pain went away. And if you're having issues with trapped gas when you get home and you're feeling really bloated and you're having pain, make sure you keep drinking your mint tea. You will thank me for it. So with any kind of surgery or any hospital stay that you have, usually the air in a hospital is extremely dry and it really dries out your skin. So I recommend not only bringing a moisturizer, but I actually bring this. This is an antioxidant moisturizer booster. This is from a brand called Artistry, which I use their skincare and absolutely love. This is amazing, and I put this on underneath my moisturizer and it just helps to give my skin a little bit of boost. Especially here, especially if you have had to wear like an oxygen mask or just in general, after an operation, you're going to find that your skin feels incredibly dry. And if you are older, you're probably going to feel this more, but you're going to feel like your skin on your face being super tight. And just in order to relieve that, I use this. Put this in my little toiletry bag. I also like to bring a refreshing, cooling face mist as well because I get super flushed after an operation or just in hospitals in general because they're so warm, and I show it always in my cheeks. Not those cheeks, but these cheeks. So I always bring a refreshing face mist as well. Again, this is by Artistry. If I can get it to focus, it's right in there. Similarly with the moisturizer, I bring a hand cream as well. This works. It's Stress Check and Kind Hands. I actually got this from my friend Sue, so thank you so much, Sue Hodge, if you are watching. It soothes my hands, it smells great, and especially if you are someone who uses a lot of hand sanitizer, which you will do in hospital. This is really great, especially for that sort of issue. And a word of warning, you want to avoid using this on your IV. If you have one, just use it around it or use it on the other hand, or use it like on your palms. It's absolutely fine. And with that, I also bring an extra, just in case, hand sanitizer, because you don't know, especially if you are going to use a loo and there's no soap or they haven't refilled the soap and you also can't find any hand sanitizer. If you bring your own, then you're always set. You don't want to get germs, especially after an operation. You want to avoid germs like the plague. Always avoid germs, actually. Another small thing is I bring a nail file with me. Now, why is that? Because every time I've gone into the hospital, I have torn or broken a nail, and I cannot stand feeling rigid nails. And usually when you're having an operation, if not 100% of the time, they ask you to take all nail polish, all gels, anything off your hands. You have bare nails, you have to. And if you're someone like me who always has gel on your nails because my nails are really weak from all the medications and everything, my nails usually split or break, and I need to have a nail file with me in order to not have those like jagged edges. I just cannot stand that. I just cannot stand anything like that. I always bring face wipes with me. I have them by the bed. so that I can easily use them if I have to. These really cool me down as well. They are from Artistry. Again, like I said, I get really, really hot and flushed cheeks, so I always bring something like this. On the same theme of wipes, I personally bring flushable, moisturizing wet wipes, especially because I usually have a catheter. Once the catheter is out and I want to feel refreshed down there and like cooled, I will bring something like this. Now this is not a huge amount. I only bring a small amount if I need to use it. Make sure you also bring sanitary pads as well. I don't have them right here because I've actually run out. Now the hospital will have them, but in my experience, they've been the really cheap, chunky, industrial strength pads that are like a foot deep. So I usually like to bring my own. I usually bring night ones because they are longer, just in case, because a lot of times after a laparoscopy, you can bleed. If you have something like a Marina put in as well, you probably will be bleeding a lot more afterwards. So highly recommend you bring like extras. Now I also bring like the obvious things like deodorant. This is a large one. I would usually recommend you bring a travel one because it's just smaller, but this is all I had. So I bring a deodorant with me. Sometimes they will ask you not to use a deodorant before the operations, but just check with them with that. But I always bring one in case because I like to always feel clean and fresh as much as I can. Another thing to go into my toiletry bag is I always like to have my hair up when I'm in hospital, even though now it's shorter. So I love these Invisi bobbles because they don't put a lot of strain on your hair as they would a normal hairband. They are light, there's no metal in them, so if you end up having to have a scan or something, and usually when you go into an operation they don't really let you have anything metal on you. These are completely plastic. They're great. These never give me like a headache or anything like that, and they're just, I don't know, they're kind of cool to have. I love them, and I always make sure I bring a few. I bring things like a toothbrush, which is important. I bring some lip balm because again, like I said, you get really dry, your lips get dry, especially afterwards. I personally love Carmex. They have strawberry, they have pineapple and mint, which I love. This is like bomb because it kind of makes your lips tingly but kind of cooled too. Love them, highly recommend these. You can get these easily. They also have SPF in them, not that there's going to be a lot of sun shining on you in the hospital. Make sure you bring bobby pins with you, or hairpins, whatever you think that they're called in your country, especially if you have short hair like me, but wear them afterwards. Like wear them, like bring them to wear after the operation because they are metal. Now this is probably a bit of a bougie thing to bring with you, but I personally like to bring it just in case I need it, and it's small. I bring a travel size dry hair shampoo with me, especially if you're going to be in hospital for longer than a day. It's good to just freshen up the hair if that's what you like. This also smells good, so if you haven't washed your hair in days, which will probably happen because you can't wash for a little bit after a laparoscopy, then you can use dry shampoo and you're good to go. I also bring a hairbrush. Again, these are kind of things that are not so much needed if you're only in hospital for a day, but I pack because I'm usually in hospital for more than just during the day. This is a Tangle teaser. It's soft and it's easy to brush your hair. It doesn't rip out your hair. It's light and it's small and it easily fits into my toiletry bag. I also bring a pen. You're thinking, oh, it's weird. Because every time I don't have a pen, I need one. So I always bring a pen just in case I need it. If you have glasses, like I do to read, then I bring my glasses case. Make sure you put that in there. This bad boy up. Stick that in there. Now, the last thing, again, this is more so if you are someone who's going to be staying in hospital for like overnight. This is a golden purchase I got off of Amazon and I've loved it. And I actually used this when I had my brain surgery. And I'm so glad I did because I was sat in the ward and the fluorescent lights were constantly beaming into my eyes. This is a silk eye mask. It is super soft, super comfortable. You can adjust it. If you have a large head, you can adjust it. If you have a small head, you can adjust it. This is pretty small. I have a smaller head. This is amazing. It's super affordable. It's super important if you are staying overnight so that if you are in a ward and you're not in your own room, there's going to be a lot of lights going on around you, and you'll be thankful to get a little bit of sleep with something like this. Ta-da. Ta-da. Now I want to quickly address the journey home because there are two key things that you're going to need for when you go home. That's really helped me. Sorry, I ran to get these. My lungs are still not 100%. So you are going to want to bring sweatpants for your journey home. that are at least one, I would say 2 sizes larger than what you would usually wear. Now, I am someone who regularly wears really oversized loungewear. The people who wear like super tight like loungewear and they think that's relaxing, I don't know, it gives me anxiety like looking at them because I'm thinking I would just feel really constricted, and no. Anyway, on the drive home and when you are home, you're not going to be able just to wear like a shirt out. So I always bring something like this. These are trousers. They're really big. They are expandable. They're super loose. They are at least 2 sizes larger than I actually am. And I make sure I pack them or I make sure I go to the hospital in them. Very important is you bring a pillow or 2 for the journey home, especially if you've had a catheter or you've had other things going on down there. You are going to want to sit on something that is soft. So I always put a pillow underneath me when I sit in the car. But the key thing, and do not miss this hack, is you want to have a pillow around you when you go into the car to put your seat belt over, because your incisions are going to be exactly where your seat belt hits, and you're going to want to protect it because you're going to be sore and you do not want something rubbing on your wounds. And that has, oh gosh, that has been a lifesaver so many times. So make sure you at least have a pillow for that. If not, also bring one to sit on too. So everything fits really nicely. Here it zips up really easily. I hope you guys have found this useful. It is so important when you're having surgery to prepare well, to bring the things that you need for the hospital, but also to prepare your home and your journey back. If you would like to hear more about my journey with endometriosis, then make sure you click the video here.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing.